whatever it takes. The Hollywood.
Hey, lazy, this shit is crazy.
What the fuck is going on? 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 These raps is like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. Seen my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't fall, yeah. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. A rose grew from the concrete. The shit y'all boys cap about beyond me. I'm a born G. I be kicking out this flame, bitch, like Bruce Lee. I know they speak my name in vain, but I can't worry about it. All this pain that's in my songs, it got me hurting about it. How my niggas doubt me like there's no birdie from me. They talking dollars and baguettes, we still behind the trench. Broad daylight, shooting handguns from behind the fence. I'm with some killers that's gonna hit bout it. In a spot that you got, you might get blicked out and rerouted. How y'all said that y'all believed in me. How y'all said that y'all believed in me. How y'all said, what the fuck is going on? 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 These raps are like a scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. See my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't fall, yeah. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. These raps is like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. See my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't fall, yeah. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. What the fuck been going on? I got brothers, but y'all moving on. I thought them bonds were strong. Look, tomorrow, hit and promise your dog could be gone. You can't prove me wrong. I can't put another soldier name inside a song. In them trenches, I was back in. Rubber grip the Mac 10. Foundation solid, I got traction. If I don't do it, who taking action? I kill it with passion. I remember back when niggas standing tall for their bottom. That was back when niggas stay solid and we caught them when they crept in. Ain't want nothing moving on that block till we stepped in. Niggas getting stepped on as soon as niggas caught wind. These raps are like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. See my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't fall, yeah. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah. These raps is like some scripture to me, yeah, they different for me. See my dog pass away, that shit get vivid for me. Praying on my downfall, I won't fall, yeah. Before I jump that porch, we learn how to crawl, yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We about to break down this Gunna snitch. Did he snitch? Or did he not? We seen this statement that he put out. We're gonna be playing all the footage today, man. We're gonna get into a lot of this today, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share the live stream. I need y'all to hit that like button and share the live stream. This is your brother Aboriginal Power, man. You tuned in to the Wake and Bake Show, man. We're gonna be talking about Gunna. Did he snitch on YSL? A lot of people saying, no, he didn't snitch. Well, I have the court hearing where he actually did. I have the court hearing audio from yesterday from which he did snitch. We will be playing that here in a second, man. We're just going to do a quick breakdown of him. Shout out to DJ Academics for providing a little bit of this footage. So let's get to this, man. Let's get right into it. I need everybody to hit that like button. Let's go.
These things he had on weapons. And that person got it a year and a day.
If you can get T.I. a year and a day, you get this guy for like basically a RICO charge, 6 months. Like Jesus Christ. Let me look.
Yeah. So I could comment on this while you pull up that plea agreement. So here's the thing. Typically, the first thing I want to say is that state racketeering charges are much different than federal racketeering charges.
The state of Georgia is one of the is a state.
So the guy speaking is a former Fed FBI agent. Speaking on the Young Thug case. This is a former FBI agent speaking on the Young Thug Gunna situation, and what did he said in court, and what does his statement mean?
Does have its own racketeering charges from a state perspective versus the federal ones. The federal ones are the ones that pull people away for a very long time. Now, as far as this racketeering case, I am familiar with it. I did cover the YSL case as well. Gunna had some of the least charges on the indictment. They got him for general racketeering activity, etc. Like very boilerplate type legal language on his charges. But for him to be able to get a plea agreement, get out on 6 months, etc. Yo, I hate to say it, man. I'd be shocked if he didn't cooperate. I'll just say it all the way. I'd be shocked if he didn't cooperate. Especially given the fact that all his co-defendants are still in jail.
Wow. So even the FBI agent is even alluding to, like, there's no way around him not participating in this case and being involved, whether it's testifying or writing an official statement. So yeah, man, it seems like he's officially snitched. We'll get into some of the court case hearings. We'll get into the court case hearings.
Yeah, it's super weird to me. So I'm sure you know.
Share the live stream too, man. Share the live stream. Shout out everybody in the building. We got 38 brothers and sisters in here. Share the live stream.
WSB TV says a rapper entered a negotiated plea known as the Alford plea, in which a defendant doesn't admit he committed the crime, but acknowledges that it's in his best interest to plead guilty. And I'm wondering, okay, this helps Gunna, but how does this help the state? He doesn't have to admit he committed the crime, but he acknowledges that it's best that he had to plead guilty. How does this help the state when you have 27 other defendants awaiting a possible trial that you claim you have 300 witnesses?
Yeah, it doesn't help at all. And that Alford plea, it's rare. It's not common. So the fact that he took a unique kind of plea like that, the fact that a lot of his co-defendants are still in, no one's really been released on anything. And just the level of the case. The thing, let's be honest here. They want Young Thug. That's who they want. They want to pin. They want to. He's probably more than likely the top guy that they want to go after because he's a leader of the organization. So they want to go after him. And how are you going to go after him? Well, you're going to have to go after someone else in the organization that is close enough to him to be able to give you actual real information, but at the same time, not high enough where, we can't afford to let this guy off easy. Does that make sense? So, like, I'll give you an example, like 6ix9ine, right? I covered his case too.
Yeah.
The reason why 6ix9ine was such a fantastic cooperator is because he was in a position where he was financing a lot of the situations, right? He had the money. So therefore that immediately put him in touch and in contact with the higher level guys. And then at the same time, he was low enough where if we give him no time, it's not that big a deal because we really want to go after these other dudes, right? We want to go after we want to go after Shotty. We want to go after El Murda. We want to go after all these dudes, the high ranking blood guys. So whenever you're building a racketeering case, a gang investigation, some type of case, drug trafficking, right? A case where you have multiple conspirators working together to commit a multitude of different crimes, especially racketeering, you always want to go for guys that are 4th or 5th removed from the top guys because they have enough information, right, on the top guys because they're close enough to them. But however, they're far enough where if they get less time, it's not that big of a deal because they're not the ones ordering murders. They're not the ones necessarily directing things. They're just kind of in the middle. So Gunna is kind of in that position. Am I saying that Gunna snitched? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that he's in a position that me as an investigator,
he's not going to say Gunna snitched. Obviously, he didn't see the court hearing. I'm going to play the court hearing case here in a second of Gunna in court actually telling. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to let y'all break that down in a minute, man. So we're going to get into that in a second, man. I need everybody to hit that like button, thumb up the video. Support the channel, man. Shout out to DJ Academic.
A prosecutor would want to exploit, and he got a strange plea deal, and he got out before everyone else. Now, these are things that, could be an indication of potentially cooperating with the government, especially getting a plea deal that early on.
Hey, okay, so now I got to read to you, he didn't put this on the social media because he wasn't free yet. Ironically, news of the plea comes with a statement. So he has a statement already ready. It says, after the sentence came down, the rapper released a statement saying, while I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. This statement makes a lot of people say, well, why the fuck did how could it be in the best interest of the state if you have been denied bond 4 times and they could at least hold you until next year, which is the trial or the scheduled start date of the trial?
Here's one thing you need to do before you start your holiday shopping. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first.
Sorry about the ads, you guys. Sorry about the ads. Also, man, y'all stay tuned, man. Young Thug went back to court today. I will be playing the court hearing video here in a second, man. So don't even trip, man. We're gonna be showing you Young Thug in court, how that went down after this whole Gunna situation, man. So we're gonna be getting into all that.
Give you this plea now. What do you think about this statement and that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to look at it is how does the state benefit from not gaining information from you, especially when you're in a privileged position where they can glean a lot of information, you know? Like I see what he's saying, and obviously that's a smart PR move to like immediately put that statement out as you're being released so that people don't assume anything. But just from my background, my training, my experience, it's very strange for him to get these benefits without necessarily giving the state something in exchange, especially when they could have said, all right, well, go pound sand, bro. We don't care. We're going to go ahead and just keep you in jail, and you're going to get hit with these charges if you don't cooperate to some degree.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but so the chat told me to scroll down a little bit, right? Okay. It says, despite saying he will not testify, it is a condition of Gunna's, I'm guessing it says trial, but I'm guessing it got to be plea because there's no trial. Yeah. A Gunna's trial that he testifies if he is called. So so I'm guessing they meant plea, but he has to testify if he's called, though he can claim the Fifth Amendment. What does this say to you?
No, he can't claim the Fifth because he's not going to be charged. If he comes in, so here's the thing. So if he comes in after the fact, right, you can only invoke the Fifth if you're going to incriminate yourself. But they already got him for racketeering. So if he admits to any gang activity or anything that they already prosecuted him for and indicted him for, well,
is this a loophole though, or a gray area? Because according to this Alford plea, the defendant doesn't admit he committed the crime, but acknowledges that it's in his best interest to plead guilty, which is weird. So you're saying you're pleading guilty because it's in your best interest, but you're not saying that you did anything. So maybe the Fifth Amendment. Go ahead.
The other important thing to remember about that.
Well, from my information and what I got on Gunna in his court hearing, he did not admit to doing anything, but he did say that other people was doing things. The whole YSS count was questioned. He was questioned about the YSL count, and he totally told on all of them in his court hearing yesterday. I will be playing the video from that as well, so just stick around, y'all. It's gonna be one.
What they say also is that if I go to trial, I would more than likely also be found guilty by a jury.
Oh, okay.
Another part of it as well. So here's the thing. Because this is the thing about plea agreements, because I've also seen a million of these as well. Plea agreements, you always have to be willing to cooperate with the government to some level, or the state, whoever the hell was prosecuting you, to some degree, and that's a whole part of the plea agreement. So if they do, let's say they do go to trial and they call Gunna to testify, he's not going to get that same Fifth Amendment privilege. Because they're going to ask him about crimes that they already charged him for in that indictment, which is racketeering activity.
Let me ask you this question, and this is definitely opinion based. Do you think they give him this plea because, as you stated, but I believe they want Thug, and if now they put on they already threw 2 extra charges, or two or three, even though those were minor charges on Thug's docket. If they also put into the ecosphere, well, you do know the guy who you be around a lot in the studios, and he also claims the same thing. He has taken a plea. If they stack that on top of whatever they got against Thug will basically just fold, because Thug has to know if you go to trial, they're going to call Gunna.
Yes, and that the government will absolutely use that in their back pocket and say, "Listen, bro."
So listen, this is a federal this is an ex FBI agent on the video call with DJ Academics breaking down this Gunna situation. So obviously a lot of people did not get to see the Gunna court case hearing, so I will be playing that here in a second. I'll just let y'all see it for yourself, and y'all can tell me how y'all feel about this. But Gunna most certainly snitched. He most certainly snitched. And we're going to get into the Meg Thee Stallion case as well. Is she lying about this whole thing? We know the girl, Celine, I forget her name, she asked for total immunity before testifying in court. And allegedly, she's protecting, Tory Lanez was protecting her. She allegedly shot Meg Thee Stallion after getting into an altercation. We actually have footage from the altercation between Meg Thee Stallion and her best friend that night. The whole altercation went down. So y'all stick around with me, man. We're gonna get into all this.
Gunna, we will call Gunna against you if we need to, and they will. I guarantee you that's a part there. Well, you already read it in the plea agreement. Every plea agreement, it's standard plea agreement language is you have a part of this plea agreement is yes, you're getting less time, blah blah blah, but you need to be available if we call you to trial as a witness, and he's not going to get no Fifth Amendment privileges.
That's interesting because I remember the and you obviously covered this whole case too with the Tekashi 6ix9ine and like the whole 9 Trey guys. What really started setting the motion up for everybody to take pleas was when they knew Tekashi was definitely going to be a federal witness. And it's like everyone started thinking, hey, are you sure that if you go to trial and this guy got to sit up there and talk about his experience intimately with you, and if he's ever seen you do any crime, talk about any crime this and third, are you sure you could still beat the United States government and everybody but the kidnappers who clearly weren't aligned with 6ix9ine from the get-go? Everybody took a plea, including Shotty.
Yep, and the other thing too, so let me let y'all know how the discovery process works, okay? Because I've been the agent that turns evidence over right during the process. After you indict someone, right, which is a formal charge by a grand jury, whether it's state or federal, you give all the information that you have to the prosecutor. The prosecutor begins the discovery process where the prosecutor starts giving over all the evidence that you gather as the investigator to the defense. Now, don't forget, guys. As they're in jail, as they're in prison, the agent is still working, gathering evidence. So this discovery process is still fluid to some degree. You're collecting jail calls. You're still debriefing witnesses. You're talking to informants. So you're still developing evidence as the investigation is going, even after indictment sometimes. So what happens is the defense doesn't always have every single thing that the prosecution has. So what more than likely happened is they saw, okay, Tekashi is going to cooperate. Cool. And then they started getting those downloads from Tekashi's phone. Then they started getting some of the stuff that Tekashi said to the prosecution and to the agents. Then as time got closer and closer to trial, that's when they got to start deciding, all right, am I going to go to trial or am I going to just take the plea? So in Young Thug's case, right, it's a state. The state works way slower than the feds do. Okay. They're almost always, that's why you guys look at someone like YNW Melly, who's been in prison since damn near 2018, 2019. And they still haven't went to trial. The state takes their time a lot of the times and is very behind, especially states like Georgia, Florida, Texas, notorious for taking forever to go to trial. So I guarantee you that Young Thug's defense probably doesn't have everything yet. And the state is still gathering evidence because from when I read that indictment, it's very apparent to me that they had what you call Title III intercepts, which is when you're listening to someone actively on a phone line or you're bugging him and listening to them speak real time. So that type of evidence, right, to disclose all of that, to go through all of it, etc., it's very time consuming. So
hey, I got some new information also to add. Chat, thank you for reminding me. I didn't scroll all the way down. Look, apparently, okay, they says Gunna also attested in the plea deal that he was in a car with Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, when officers pulled them over and found hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm inside, which, by the way, they're definitely going to try to use and squeeze Thug, you could tell. Because, again, if they're giving him the slap on the wrist, they got to give somebody the DDT. It's according to the plea agreement, Gunna claimed the gun and drugs weren't his.
Not only did he claim it wasn't his, he claimed it was a YSL members, and that they commit crimes and shit. I'm gonna play the footage of Gunna in court, y'all. I'm gonna just let y'all see for yourself. We're gonna finish listening to this DJ Academic have a conversation with the ex-FBI agent breaking down this whole court case hearing.
But according to the police narrative, there's only one person in the car.
Yeah. See?
Okay, explain that to me. Explain that to me. because hey, this might be really disguised. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm only taking a plea for me, but I'll sign off saying that gun was not mine though. But it's only two of y'all in the car.
Yeah, and this is where cases can get complex, right? When you have informants, when you got people that are cooperating or whatever, sometimes to get things done in a certain way where the defendant or the cooperator, right, isn't necessarily implicated, you have to write things or proposition things in a certain way that doesn't make it obvious that the individual that's cooperating is actually cooperating, if that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll tell y'all from my personal experience when I had informants and cooperators, etc.
Wait, hold on. Just to give the audience context,
sure.
You have worked with people who have been, knowingly cooperating with the U.S. government to obviously try to get either lesser time or try to avoid whatever. So these individuals and you've been in the trenches. I'm just trying to establish that for the audience.
I'll put it this way. There was a time when I had 10 plus confidential informants and or cooperators working for me.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
There's no one else that could talk about this in a more educated fashion. When I would write my report,
hey Chad, Fed 1811, man. Y'all gotta go check my man's out, man. Listen, I think when it comes to the hip hop space, I go pretty in depth, but obviously there's still another depth that could be done that someone like me won't go. And also sometimes I'm only caring about hip hop cases. But if you think about shit, I had a great time watching your whole Jeffrey Dahmer breakdown. I think you do a great job outside the scope of that. So you guys go check him out if you really want in depth. Apparently your true crime is a real thing, man. I ain't gonna lie. I might have to launch a true crime fucking channel recently.
Love it.
But anyway, yeah. Okay. Not to cut you off, but just to give a random plug. Okay. So you've worked with all type of people who have cooperated. How does this sound though? So in the plea, he's saying it's not mine, but let me read it again. Gunna also attested in the plea deal that he was in the car with Young Thug. So he says he's marking the time. I'm in the car with Thug.
Yeah.
When police pulled him over and found hydrocodone, methamphetamine, and a firearm inside, and according to the plea deal, Gunna claimed that the gun and drugs were not his. It's unclear if anyone else was in the car at the time.
So when you have informants, cooperating defendants, sources of information, and I could break down the difference between each if you care, but I'll put it this way: as someone that controlled all different types of informants at different levels, right?
It's your job as the investigator to protect your guy from looking like he cooperated, especially
if he's a part of a criminal organization where retaliation is almost inevitable.
I mean, that's true.
So that's the thing. So it is a thing to try to.
So listen, I want y'all to keep this in mind right quick, right? As I rotate to the video, I want to play this real quick. So before we get back into this DJ Academic breakdown, I want y'all to have clarity. I want y'all to be brought up to speed. This is Gunna in a court case hearing. I want y'all to pay very close attention to this. Make sure y'all hit that like button. All right, let's get a shout out to my brother Seti Nash, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Bro channel.
Whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a game, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the game.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement.
Did y'all hear that? He said They asked him, are you aware that members of YSL has actively committed crimes and other things? Listen, I'm gonna run it back so y'all can hear it.
Personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the game.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL.
Do you see that? Somebody said free Thug, free Gunna. Gunna's already out of jail. He snitched in court yesterday and they released him. He is now released from court. Did y'all hear what he said? They asked him about the guns and the amphetamine and the hydrocodone that was found in the car. It was only 2 people found in the car. He said it wasn't his. What is that?
And do you acknowledge the following?
Listen.
These items did not belong to you. You were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the game to the detriment of my community. YSL as a game must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
2 gang member parole for
And did you hear that? That nigga said that we got to stop YSL as a game because it's a very detriment to my community. She asked him, is that your statement? He said, yes. Thug is sitting right there in court. Thug also is back in court right now today. Thug is in court right now. I'm going to be playing the court case hearing from that in a second. I don't know what's going down. We're going to be seeing it live right now. I think they just setting the courtroom up right now as we speak. So I think they're about to be ushering him in a second. But listen, man, let me run that back just in case y'all didn't hear this, man. Let me run this back one more time, man. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a game, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the game.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the game to the detriment of my community. YSL as a game must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
2 gang member parole for a deadly armed robbery at a DeKalb County gas station. A jury found Cordarius Dorsey and Quintavious Jackson guilty for shooting and killing a husband and father of 6. It happened in 2019 at a gas station in Gresham Park. The DeKalb County District Attorney says Dorsey.
Listen, man, you heard it from the horse's mouth, man. He told. He told. So it really ain't no way around it when you break down the rest of this situation, man. When you break down the rest of this situation, there's really he told. Let's get back to DJ Academic. Breaking this down.
The investigation not look like a snitch, quote unquote.
Here, I'll give you an example right now, a real-time example. Let's say, right, I get information from a source that there's 10 kilos of cocaine in a car.
So now let me ask y'all this. Are y'all going to treat Gunna like y'all treat 6ix9ine now? That's the question I'm proposing to the chat. Y'all get in the comment section and let me know how y'all feel. Are y'all going to treat Gunna like y'all treat 6ix9ine? He's a snitch. Nobody fucks with him. You saying? How y'all feel about that? Huh? What y'all doing? Y'all treating them like 6ix9ine?
Car.
Yeah.
And it's traveling on Interstate 95.
Yeah.
Right? But then I also find out through maybe a good Samaritan that this drugs in his car. Maybe not to the same level of detail, but I also get information that there's drugs in this vehicle going on this highway at this time. What I do, right, as the investigator, as I call the highway patrol, and I tell
J-Rock, did he snitch J-Rock?
Right here, I got some reliable information that the car has dope in it. But, big but, I need you to develop your own probable cause, stop that vehicle, and do a search. So the trooper sees the car, he stops it, maybe for a broken taillight, maybe for a license plate not matching or some other reason, right? There's a reason why it's easy for them to pull you over. He pulls him over with his own probable cause, of course, and then through the course of the investigation,
and he doesn't state any of the intel you've given him.
Hell no, he doesn't. So he goes ahead and he does that, right? He's, do you mind if I can search the car? Gets consent, searches the car, finds the drugs. Bam. I've effectively protected my informant now, or my source, or whoever it is, in that seizure, because now it looks like it was a traffic stop. Of course, when I write up my report, I have to disclose, I received information, blah, 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 but I don't have to necessarily go in detail because it was independently corroborated through the stop. Does that make sense? So that's one way to insulate a source. That's an example.
If you're looking for an entry-level remote job in 2022 and you're not doing this, then you're seriously missing out. Because by just doing this, people with no experience or education get remote jobs paying $60K
Sorry about
per
the
year.
ads, y'all. Sorry about the ads.
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Jesus. Okay. All right. Wow. Apparently, which also I didn't read, they said alleged YSL co-founder, which this is odd, Walter Murphy, also negotiated a plea deal in the indictment on Tuesday, according to his lawyer, Jacoby Hudson. By the way, there's a lot of people who kept talking about trial. I said, ain't no possible fucking way we'll ever see no RICO case go to a actual jury trial for the majority of the people. Maybe one or two brazen people take it there, but no, everybody's gonna plea out. And if we're seeing a co-founder plea out, obviously you have to think about this. One of Young Thug and even Gunna's like major their arguments was that YSL's not a gang, it's only a record label. Well, now a co-founder of the gang component is negotiating a plea. He's pretty much corroborating the fact that it's a gang.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Whenever people say, it's not a gang, that doesn't work. All they have to do is prove that you guys are committing some type of crime for the betterment of the organization. That's all they got to prove when it comes to racketeering, essentially. Right? And the fact that they have the branding, the memorabilia, all this other stuff, right? Like, I mean, hell, when I looked at the indictment, I went ahead and I pulled like the music video clips that they were using as evidence. Bro, them just having on like YSL chains with a snake on it was considered evidence because they were able to tie the snakes back to what? The Bloods. That was their fuck up. Bro, if you're a part of a national gang, GD, Blood, Crip, any of these like big gangs, Lion King, whatever, and they're able to tie it back to that, you're done. It doesn't matter what the fuck you think. You say slime or any of this other stuff. They were always able to tie it back to the Bloods, which automatically is considered a national gang. Done. The racketeering all day. Easy.
Oh my God. So it is in your belief, and partially, I think, definitely in my belief, but I think the majority of people have said, hey, listen, this case is to catch a few people and put them away. And I'm wondering what time they'll look. So if Gunna got 6-7 months, I'm wondering how serious the state is about their case, because federally, Casanova is being, they're actually suggesting 20 years. The prosecutors recommended 20.
We're anesthesiologists.
My bad about the ass, y'all.
Emergency medicine physicians.
You know how that shit goes.
Yep.
Okay.
I called it. I called it that he was gonna get a significant amount of time.
And he took a plea.
Yes.
He took a plea. If you took a plea and they're recommending 20, if you had blue trial, they're going to give you, I don't even want to know the number.
Yeah, if you go to trial on a racketeering case and you lose, bro, you're doing 30 plus, 30 minimum, 30 plus. And if you killed someone, you know, or you like did something serious in the racketeering, you're gonna get hit with even more time. Like you don't want to go ahead and fight a RICO federal case. It's a L. I mean, I called that Cass was gonna lose. Like he was gonna have to plead or he was gonna die in prison, one of the two. And the thing that messes up Cass is that his criminal history is fucked up. He has many convictions for robbery, so that automatically brought up his points. It's a point system in the feds based on other crimes he's been convicted of.
Here's another interesting part about this thing. It says, listen, Hudson, who they claim is a one of the big wigs in the YSL organization. They said, well, no, not Hudson. I mean Murphy, right? He's a co-founder, Walter Murphy. They said Hudson. I guess he's probably his lawyer. Okay, that's his lawyer. Hudson says Murphy has already been released and will not testify about the conduct of other individuals. Hudson says the ways Murphy has changed his life after he got out of prison was a major factor in the deal. How does a co-founder of a criminal gang allegedly responsible for a bunch of murders get out, and they're saying that, oh, he's been out and he changed his life? Something like, who are they? Obviously, we agree that they're trying to get Thug, but is this really all about Thug?
Yeah, I think Thug is who they're going after. And the other thing too, I want to also bring to everyone's attention that I haven't seen enough people talk about with the YSL situation is that there's wiretaps on this case, guys. The fact that they have wiretaps is a big problem for the organization. And the reason why I say that is because, so I've done wiretaps myself. I've been Affian on wiretaps, and they're not easy to get, guys. All right, they're extremely difficult to get. You need to be able to establish through probable cause and an affidavit, which is typically lengthy. I remember when I did mine, it was about 75 pages. You need to articulate, number one, why the person's a criminal. Number two, why you need to listen to their phone. And then number three, you need to prove that they're talking to other criminals about criminal activity on that particular device.
Holy shit. I know what the chat keep, because every time I read something, they're like, no, it's not that. I figured it out, chat. Let me read this to you.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read the sentence before. I'll read two sentences before. Gunna says he cherishes his association with YSL Music and always will. During Gunna's court appearance Wednesday, the judge read out stipulations of the plea agreement that Gunna then responded to. The rapper swore that he has personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang, but seemed to distance himself from YSL the gang versus YSL the label.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I gotta read this one more time.
And that's a part of the plea agreement too. Most plea agreements say that you can't talk to your co-defendant and or associate with them.
Hold on. No way. No. Chat, y'all know what I'm about to play. Hold on, chat. Hold on.
I fell down to my knees when the law came.
No way. Hold on. I got to read this again. The rapper, hold on. Myron, I need you to take this in with me. The rapper swore he has personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes.
Yeah.
yo. You know the ill thing about Myron? He's like so not shocked because he's dealt with this so much. Nah, bro.
So what DJ Academic just read is the actual transcript from court. That's the actual what we just showed y'all on the video. What I just showed y'all him in court, and the judge asking them particular questions. That's the transcript from that area, man. So yeah, Gunna snitch, man. It is what it is. Let's listen.
Furtherance of the gang, but seemed to distance himself from YSL the gang versus YSL the label.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I gotta read this one more time.
And that's a part of the plea agreement too. Most plea agreements say that you can't talk to your co-defendant and or associate with them.
Hold on. No way. No. Chat, y'all know what I'm about to play. Y'all know what I'm about to play. Hold on, chat. Hold on.
I fell down to my knees when the law came. I fell down to my knees when the law came.
No, wait, hold on. I gotta read this again. The rapper, hold on. Myron, I need you to take this in with me. The rapper swore he has personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes.
Yeah.
yo, you know the ill thing about my Myron? He's like so not shocked because he's just dealt with it so much. Nah, bro, we listen to these people's music like, bruh, what do you mean he says he has, what does he mean he has personal knowledge? He swore. What could this mean? He has personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang, but he's distancing himself from YSL the gang versus YSL the label.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, I'm not surprised because when you're looking at those kinds of numbers, man, and you're a music artist and you got money, you got a life to live outside of this shit, man, bro. I've seen the toughest guys.
Wait, hold on.
Man.
Yo, chat. Why did you tell me I'm not reading this thing completely? This is what he said. I recognize and I deeply regret that my talent in music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. Gunna acknowledged and signed statement. He also said YSL as a gang must end.
As experts in online education, Purdue University Global gives you all the flexibility you need to balance school, work, and life. Take classes 100% online to fit your schedule, your pace, and your personal budget. Learn how to save on tuition and time online at Purdue Global.
Holy.
I know. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking. Wait, hold up. Yeah, Myron.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Break it down. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean,
but if you want a link, I'll send you a link that you can see this.
No, I'm reading it on your. I'm actually reading it on your thing right now. So I'm reading it myself. And yo, here's the thing with plea agreements, bro. You almost. This is how plea agreements go. What the crime is, admitting to the crime, admitting your wrongdoings, right, and then being able to cooperate in the future. That's like the basic structure of any type of plea agreement. Because keep in mind that the defendant is receiving almost all the benefit most of the time in exchange for some type of cooperation or whatever, and or acknowledgement of criminal activity. Him saying that in itself, what does it do? It vilifies the gang as a gang. It proves that they are in fact a gang, even though they tried to say that they're not, despite all the snakes and the slime and the terminology and the gang phrases and the bandanas and everything else like that. And I went into detail in my breakdown on this. But yeah, man, I mean, he's going to obviously say that in a certain way, but the government's always going to have him by the balls that he has to cooperate if needed in the future. And that's probably going to be a bargaining chip for them when they go to Young Thug and say, listen, bro, hold on, go to trial because we'll call Gunna to stand.
Wait. Hold on. I'm glad you said that because I've always heard this. And you obviously working way more intimately than anyone in the community of rap or even myself could even fathom. What do you mean in the future? Like, what do you mean has him by the balls and pause on the terminology? But what do you mean has, like, again, it's only, I don't even know what to ask. What do you mean they could force him to cooperate? Like,
I got you. So basically, this is what's going to happen. At this point, it's lawyers talking to lawyers. The detectives are no longer talking to the defendants at this point, unless they want to come forward and do some type of agreement, which is called typically a proffer. But at this point, it's lawyers talking to lawyers. And what I mean by that is Young Thug's defense team is talking to the prosecution. The prosecution is going to go to Young Thug's defense team and say, listen, just so y'all know, Gunna pled guilty. And Gunna is willing to come back and cooperate if we need him to, should you guys go to trial. We already know what Thug has done based on discussions with Gunna. So they're probably going to go ahead and let Young Thug's team know that if you go to trial, you're going to probably take an L because we basically got one of your top guys to cooperate with us. Because if you take a plea deal, bro, you got to cooperate to some degree.
I fell down to my knees with yo, Myra, you breaking our hearts. No, keep going though, keep going. I had to play that sound effect. No. Hold on. Listen. We in hip hop love to be delusional, especially about the people we love. If we don't like you, it's whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Is it just possible that like, you know what I mean? They're just letting him out because they just realize he just has nothing to do with nothing, and they realize maybe they made a mistake.
Well, if that was the case, then Gunna would have fought it. He has a good legal team, and he has the money to have that legal team fight.
Okay, so I'm playing devil's advocate. Well, maybe fighting the case is going to land him in jail. He's not getting out on bond. 4 attempts, no bail. He's going to have to sit in jail for at least a year to maybe a year and a half just to fight it. It's easier just to say, hey, listen, we do some no harm, no foul shit. And I just take time served and basically go on glorified probation. Obviously, it's a 4-year suspended, but still. And I won't tell. I'm not no telling. There's no telling happening. I'm a gangster. I'm a street nigga. Like, come on, no telling. Can't be no telling.
Well, I'm willing to bet that he gave some sort of information for them to even entertain giving him this plea deal. And then I think the biggest thing is they're going to use. Well,
you're right. We read it. He said I was in the car with a dude.
You're going to take an L.
Well, you're right. We read it. He said I was in the car with a dude and none of the guns. Like, that's obviously saying, hey, listen, I'm giving a sworn statement, whether I'm on a stand or not, saying that those weapons that you're trying to charge whoever in the car for is definitely not mine.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, man. Let's talk about the ad. Let's go.
Because
hey, man, so listen, I want y'all to get in that comment section. Let me know, man, how y'all feel. Did Gunna do the right thing by snitching?
Case was weak. He would have just said, fuck that, I'm going to fight it. It would have been better in his public. It would have been better for him from a public interest standpoint. It would have been better for him for his music career. He would have been better off just fighting it if the charges from the state were that weak. However, they weren't, which is why he took the plea deal in the first place. And whenever you take a plea deal, it's written and etched into the plea deal, virtually state, federal, whatever it is, that you will cooperate with the government should they need you to. So in this case, Young Thug has some good lawyers. He has a very good legal team. And the state is a little bit finicky about it. So what are they going to do? Okay, the best way that we're going to be able to combat Young Thug, his defense team, is we need more and more cooperators against him. Because the thing is this, whenever you have a racketeering case or you have multiple conspirators, the problem is that each conspirator is a criminal. So inherently their testimony is tainted because they're a criminal. They're not deemed trustworthy. However, if you got 5, 10, 20 co-conspirators saying the same shit about the top guy, well, all of a sudden now the testimony becomes more and more valid because it's being independently corroborated through different individuals. And then each person, right, depending on their hierarchy in the criminal organization, their testimony matters more or less. Someone like Gunna, higher up in the organization, their testimony is going to mean quite a bit. So I would say this was a chess move from the prosecution to secure Gunna's cooperation in the future should they need to go to trial against Young Thug, who they have the overwhelming amount of evidence against and they're trying to go after. And the thing I was trying to say before was why YSL should be really concerned, which is probably why Gunna didn't want to go ahead and fight this thing, is because they have wiretaps. Anytime you have wiretaps...
Wait, hold on real quick.
All right.
Let me read the full statement. So we're reading the article that was there by, so someone from WSB TV was in court. So they know exactly what Gunna had to, on the record, basically acknowledge in front of a judge according to the plea. So that's what they wrote in the article. But Gunna, that's why I said this is kind of odd. Gunna dropped a statement immediately when this came out. You want me to read you Gunna's statement?
Hey, go ahead.
Listen to this, because right now it's playing on the Shade Room. Like, oh man, he definitely, he just got a great legal team. Look, Sergio Kitchens, which is Gunna, this is his press statement. He said, when I became affiliated with YSL in 2016, I did not consider it as a gang, more like a group of people from Metro Atlanta who had a common interest and artistic aspirations. My focus on YSL Entertainment, rap artists who wrote and performed music that exaggerated and glorified urban life and rap community, while I've always agreed to always be truthful, which, by the way, that's him basically saying I have to tell the truth if I ever call. He never says I'm going to be called, but you know they're going to be leveraging him like we could call him. Okay, let's keep going. Yep. I want to make it perfectly clear, I have not made any statements. I have not been interviewed. I have not cooperated, and I have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. Let me stop there before I read the last paragraph. He's saying that he has not agreed to be a part of this trial if it goes to trial, and he will not and has no intention of being involved in this trial. Do you think this is cap?
It's 1000% cap, because by virtue of him signing the plea agreement, he forfeited all that.
Oh shit.
It's a wrap. Like, he can say all that. I haven't talked to the real thing you got to add to that. When he says, I have not cooperated, I haven't testified, add the word yet to that. I have not talked to the police yet. I have not cooperated yet. I have not testified yet, because the government now reserves the right to call him, and he must cooperate with the investigation, or they can reinstitute the charges. So he lost that ability to say I'm not cooperating once he signed the plea deal. It's a wrap.
Okay, let me read the last paragraph. He says, I have chosen to end my own RICO case with an Alford plea and end my personal ordeal by publicly acknowledging my association with YSL. That's so interesting, because in the first paragraph, he says, I don't consider it a gang. But now he's saying, I'm acknowledging my association with YSL. Interesting. An Alford plea, in my case, is the entry of a guilty plea, the one that charged against me, which is in my best interest, while at the same time maintaining my innocence toward the same charge. I love and cherish my association with YSL Music and always will. There's no way he could be on a label after this. Like, it's just no way. It's just no way, right? Like you agree with this, right? I look at this. Let me just read this last line, and there you go. I look at this as an opportunity to give back to the community and educate young men and women that gangs and violence only lead to destruction. Go ahead, Myron.
Oh, the thing is that he forfeited that ability once he signed the plea agreement, and there's no way around it. If the government needs him, they will absolutely call him. If Young Thug or anybody else higher up in the organization decides to go to trial, they will absolutely call Gunna as a witness to some degree, and he's going to have to testify, and he's not going to be able to enjoy the privileges of the Fifth Amendment, because he's not necessarily incriminating himself talking about gang activity that he's already been charged and pled guilty to a degree. So he's not going to be able to invoke the Fifth Amendment like our girl Kelsey did today, because the thing is that Kelsey hasn't been charged for those crimes, so she was able to stay silent. Gunna won't have that privilege if they call him to the stand.
Wow.
Yeah, when you sign a plea agreement, the government owns you, bro. They go through it with your lawyer. They go through it with you. You sit there with your attorney. You and your attorney have prepped it. Like, he knows deep down that the government owns him. Like, all these things he's saying, oh, I have not cooperated, I have not spoken to the police or whatever, I haven't testified. Just put the word yet at the end of it, and then you'll know the truth.
Okay. So let me ask you, and this is obviously a contextual question. But
and
given
because Gunna's going to lie in court. No, bro, because they already have all the facts. If he lies, it's the dumbest thing they could do, because they already know what he did. So they're going to hit him with perjury. Sorry, what were you saying, bro? My bad.
True. So let me ask you this question. So Gunna, at this point, do you believe that obviously people are thinking, well, because we've seen this before. If Young Thug comes out and says, nah, like, we wanted Gunna to do that, even if it is what people might think it is, there's going to be a pass that is given. Young Thug is the one who I believe is looking at least over 10 years. I would probably say close to 20. Do you think that Young Thug how do you think he will see this move? Just from a defendant point of view.
He's gonna. I mean, if I was him, I'd be looking at it like fuck. Like I'd be pissed because you don't get plea agreements unless you cooperate, typically to some degree, especially with that amount of time shaved off.
Holy shit! By the way, I think Gunna did something amazing. He released a statement which they sent to. They probably did send to me. I gotta go check my shit. They sent a statement to the Shade Room, and they're running with the narrative. But I'm glad the chat told me to check the article because I was like, "Wow, this is a crazy deal."
Yeah, he put out a statement that he didn't snitch, and we know that not to be true because we got the statement of him telling in court. So we're gonna get into that right now, man. I want everybody to hit that like button, thumb up the video, support channel, man. I'm about to put that on the screen right now, so make sure y'all hit that like button. This is Gunna in court. This is Gunna in court telling. So I want y'all to listen to me very clear, very close. All right, so let's get into that right now. Shout out to my boy Sadie Mills.
After each statement, whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
2 gang members parole for a deadly armed robbery at a DeKalb County gas station.
So you heard it from the horse's mouth, man. He told in court. That's how he got out. He put a statement out before he even went to court, and he did not tell. But we just witnessed him telling in court. So, like I said, man, this shit get wicked, man. And Young Thug go to court today following Gunna's court hearing. So Young Thug is in court today.
Says I realize that and I deeply regret that my talent and music furthered YSL the gang and to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. In none of his statements, he says YSL as a gang must end.
Yeah.
No, this is wow.
Gunna stated in court. Y'all just heard it on the audio. YSL is a gang and must end. The judge asked him, "Is this your quote? Is this your statement?" He said, "Yes." Come on, man.
Yo, this is how racketeering cases go, man. I mean,
I agree. No, I'm with you. Here's the thing, though. You see, we're in hip hop, and the Tekashi 6ix9ine case was such a signifier of this is what snitching or this is what cooperation look like. I'm glad you're on here with me, right? To explain how cooperation could be masked, because we only really think cooperation when somebody's on the stand. They got like, you know what I mean? We see the music videos. The guy who's on the stand, they put like in the music videos, they put like a rat head over him and he's pointing somebody out and whatever the case is. Yeah, because that's what we only see cooperation to be. Now, again, for everybody who's watching this, I am a civilian, so I don't give a fuck if somebody did cooperate or not. But I keep saying that, unfortunately, a lot of black culture is crime culture. AJ, you were saying something? What's up?
No, I was going to say, you want to know the dirty secret when it comes to informants, bro?
Go ahead.
If you see an informant testifying in court, the agent himself fucked up more than likely.
Oh,
there's so many cases where informants never take the stand and they don't even know who the cooperator was. That's when you know that you did a good case, when they don't know who the cooperator is. So for every time you might see a snitch take the stand or a cooperator take the stand, There's probably 10 other investigations where the person got indicted, charged, convicted, everything. Cooperator never took the stand. No one knows who the hell he is.
Fuck. And by the way, I agree with you. I always said if 6ix9ine case went down, right? And if Harv, because these are the kidnappers, right?
Yeah.
If Harv and I think Nuke, if they didn't take it to trial, because everybody in 6ix9ine's gang, Harv and Nuke was the people who broke apart. Like they were already like separated before the whole thing happened. If they never brought it to trial where 6ix9ine had to sit on that stand and talk, I think 6ix9ine is unaffected.
I was dashing in Idaho, which was a
Sorry about the ad. Sorry about the ad.
I was able to help.
So man, that was it on the whole Gunna situation from DJ Academic. But you heard the court hearing from your own mouth, man. Young Thug is also in court. I kind of want to get into some of that right now. So I guess that's what we about to get into. Let's see what's going on over there while he in court. I don't know what's going on, so we'll put this on the screen right now. So yeah, man, this is him in court. I guess we waiting on him to get done with court, man. See what's going on real quick, man. So let me see. Oh, I'm a little far behind. Let's see if we can skip it up and find when Thug come into court. Let's see if we can skip it up. When Thug come into court. Thug coming into court right now. So we can see what's going on. And this is today, right now. Gunna had court yesterday, and he was released after court. I don't know what's going to happen with Thug. What if Thug get released? I don't know what's going on. He's in court though, following the Gunna hearing and testifying yesterday. So let's get into that. Thug don't look too happy, man. Run that back a little bit. Let's see if we can catch his face a little bit. Look, he don't look too like he, you know what I mean? He don't look too, you know what I mean? Savvy to beater. He don't look like he got the ups on this situation. He know it's looking nasty. When you got your member that you signed, the one who you was in a car with when the arrest happened, and ultimately got the RICO indictment put on him, you was in a car with Gunna. And Gunna said none of them drugs or guns was his. And you was the only dude in the car, Jeff. So man, let's see what's going on, man. You don't look too shabby. Thug don't look too motherfucking like he got the ups in this situation. It's looking nasty. What is Thug gonna do in this situation? Gunna just put him in a compromising as if he wasn't already one. Let me light a wood up to all my niggas, man, that got wrongfully convicted and incriminated by these public servants, man. Let me light a wood up for all my niggas, man. Free all my niggas that shouldn't be in their cages, man. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know, man. Should Gunna snitch? Did Gunna do the right thing by snitching, man? And should Young Thug snitch? That's the question I'm proposing to the chat. Put that in here real quick. Y'all tell me, man. Look at it. Look at his face, man. That's wariness, man. That's wariness. They could give this boy 10 to 50 years. And it seems like they got him right where they want him to. Gunna most certainly snitched. I don't know if you heard the audio. Did y'all hear Gunna snitch? Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all heard it from the court hearing. Y'all drop a 1 in the chat if y'all heard Gunna snitch. I just want to make sure we on the same page here. Want to make sure we on the same page here. Everybody seen him snitch, bro. My bad. I'm pausing the live. Let me finish looking at Gunna right. I mean, Thug right quick. He look worried. Yeah, he already told he can't snitch. He's the boss. Nah, the can't snitch, huh? All right, man. I don't really know exactly what went down within this whole case here, but we see the judge right there. I think they filed for a motion, if I'm not mistaken. They filed for a motion. Not really for sure, but we gonna see. The first time we seen Thug smile. It's a lot of snitching going on. It's a lot of lying in court going on. We got the Meg Thee Stallion case, man. She was caught lying in court. And now everybody's going crazy about that. We will be getting into some of that conversation here in a second, man. Meg Thee Stallion lying. Damn, Thug.
All new for you at noon. Atlanta rapper Young Thug is back in court.
Let's see what happened with Thug in court.
The comes less than 24 hours after Gunna entered a plea deal for his release from jail. Young Thug and Gunna are two of 28 defendants charged in this RICO case. All 28 members of the Young Slime Life record label, which prosecutors are accusing of having a connection to street gang activity. Motion hearings for Young Thug and other YSL members happening right now. Our team is there. We will be sure to bring you the very latest online and here on air. Here is a look at the moments Atlanta-born rapper Gunna walked out of the Fulton County Jail late yesterday afternoon. The rapper, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, made a deal with prosecutors to make this all happen. Now, Gunna will not have to stand trial early next year with rapper Young Thug and the more than 24 other defendants who prosecutors say were part of a racketeering conspiracy. And despite Gunna releasing a statement saying otherwise, documents from his plea deal show if called to testify when his co-defendants head to trial, the rapper would have to take the stand. John Sherrick on that part of the story for us.
Gunna's Sergio Kitchens leaving the Fulton County Jail 7 months after he'd surrendered. He is a free man. The man Fulton County prosecutors had said was deeply involved with rapper Young Thug and 26 others in a violent gang called YSL. Gunna pleaded guilty to 1 count of racketeering, and it was an Alford plea, meaning Gunna does not admit to doing anything wrong, despite pleading guilty to the charge.
I'm pleading guilty, but not admitting I'm guilty. It's just legal jargon, legal maneuvering, but it's the same as a regular guilty plea.
Atlanta attorney Daryl Cohen, who is not part of the case, says prosecutors likely just wanted Gunna out of the way as they focus on trying to convict the others.
Because he's a minor player, so it's just going to clear the deck, if you will, to give us, that is the prosecution, an opportunity to go after the big players in this case.
Gunna was charged with just one count of racketeering.
The big players gotta be Thug at this point. The big players gotta be Thug. The big players gotta be Thug at this point.
Because he's a minor. So it's just going to clear the deck, if you will, to give us, that is the prosecution, an opportunity to go after the big players in this case.
Gunna was charged with just one count of racketeering in the massive indictment. He was accused of dealing in drugs and stolen merchandise along with other alleged gang members. By contrast, young thug Jeffrey Williams was indicted on 8 counts. Gunna made it clear in a public statement released by his attorney that his deal with prosecutors does not require him to be a prosecution witness against the others. Quote, I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case.
He's trying to save his cred and his world.
Gunna says that as part of his deal with prosecutors, he will now, as he put it, try to educate young people that gangs and violence only lead to destruction.
So he's openly admitting that it's a gang. Oh man, y'all get in the comment section right now. Let me know. Do you think Young Thug snitches is a form of snitching? What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about this, man? We're gonna get into the Megan Thee Stallion situation, man. We know about this twins. Megan Thee Stallion situation been going crazy over the internet. A lot of speculations that came out from the time of the incident happened. Now new information has emerged. People has been caught lying. Other people subpoenaed to court. Who we thought did it, did it. Ain't alleged did it. So we're gonna get into this situation right now, man. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Heard a loud noise and ran away. The medical report stating that she had thought she stepped on glass. This is how it looked initially. A photo of the rapper's foot shows she sustained serious injuries.
I know.
Okay, you know, check man.
She was walking at a party, heard a loud noise, and ran away. The medical report stating, adding that she had thought she stepped on glass. This is how it looked initially. A photo of the rapper's foot shows she sustained serious injuries after the alleged July 2020 shooting. The emergency department noted that Meg was asked repeatedly about her injury, but she stated she never heard a gunshot. Initially, she didn't even believe that there were bullets present. However, the report states that initial x-rays show bullet fragments in both of her ankles. Now, see, that's where it gets dicey. Because if initial reports say there was bullet fragments, why isn't that on the police report that we're reading? Right? Cool. This is another picture, which I think this is an exclusive picture from page 6. It shows, I think, her injuries kind of cleaned up a little bit, or maybe the other side of her foot. Right? This photo, including the medical report exclusively obtained by page 6, shows a close-up of Meg's injury on the back of her foot. An insider exclusively told page 6 on Monday, Meg told the doctors full versions of the night events as they discussed the prospect of surgery. Okay, cool. So now this is making a little bit more sense. At first, they think she stepped on glass. They're writing it up as they kind of see it. They're thinking when they probably think bullets, because they do hear that she's been transported from an incident where there were bullets fired. So they're looking at her injuries to see if it's consistent with her being shot, right? This thing is 6'9" called me. I got to on stream. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, this nigga 6'9" called me over and over again. Hold on. All right. I told him I'm busy. I told him I'm on stream. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Cool. Insider says so. I guess they look at her and be like, "Yo, there might be some shit, right?" So they probably do an X-ray, right? I don't think the X-ray just initially tells you it's bullet fragments. Like, you know what I mean? You probably would need a little bit more, I would believe. I'm just using my own brain, right? I think they start kind of telling her, like, yeah, something's lodged in your foot. And she probably realized lying is just not the way to go. So she tells him, like, yeah, like someone shot near me. Because now they're telling her, like, yo, there's something in your leg. We might have to take it out because we can't get to it. We might have to do surgery. When people start talking about doing surgery on your body, your lies will cut the fuck out. Right? She's like, no, wrong with me. No. Like, nah, just stepped on some glass, bitch. We're going to have to do some fucking invasive surgery, and you won't be twerking for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Listen, this looks bad. You'll be like, oh, no, let me just tell you the truth, and then y'all can tell me what we could do. Right? So they told the doctor the full version as soon as they told her about surgery. Ain't that a bitch? She was like, I ain't snitching on nobody. Surgery? Oh, hell no. That nigga shot me. Cool. As a result of the surgery, 3 bullet fragments were saved, packaged according to standard protocol, and passed off to proper authorities. Okay? So there should be bullet fragments. I'm waiting on the documentation of that. That is also part of the discovery. And from what I'm hearing, Meg's homie is going to, passing that off to me this week. The reports also state that tiny fragments of the retained missile that were deemed too small to attempt to be retrieved, meaning parts of the bullet still remain in her feet to this date. She was discharged from the hospital the 16th. When did this happen? This happened?
Sorry about the ads. Sorry about the ads. You know these niggas, man. This is a non-skippable ad.
More money and get a remote job paying more than.
Wow. So this.
Wow. So
this is what I have. Right?
This is why it happened, right? See.
She got brought to the hospital the 12th. She got discharged from the hospital the 16th. So you could tell there was multiple tests, multiple people looking at it. The first doctor who looked at it, this is why the police report look like that. So the police are just trying to type up their report. She gets sent to the hospital. They probably call down to the station, or they probably go down there like, yo, what's the deal with this? The first guy who looks at it, who Meg's lying to, says, yo, she stepped on glass. Now, here's the thing. I believe, me personally, this is academic thoughts, both could be true. I believe there are bullet fragments, and I believe she did also have lacerations via glass. I think she had bullet fragments, and I think she had glass also lodged in her legs, in her feet. That's the thing. Both could be true. Where did the glass come from? She probably kicked out one of the... I heard she cut herself while kicking the glass of one of the cars. Because she was like, she wanted to get out of the car. That's what I heard. I don't know, right? So I think both could be true. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, no, there's no bullet fragments. Again, I'm the most unbiased person in this situation, not because I see a fucking police report, which I have the full thing. I have much more documents than that. I'm not going to take that and be like, oh, no, she's completely lying about that. Nope. Because you know why? When the document come out about the bullet fragments, I'm going to look stupid. I don't like looking stupid. Nah, I'm not Tashke. Anyway, yeah, cool. All right. So, yeah. So, basically, what we have is two people that disagree with each other. The first person, which is the Dr. Lafredo. Dr. Lafredo is the other person who looked at her later and did the I can't talk. That did the X-rays is someone different. So that's completely someone different than Dr. Lafredo. So it's just two different opinions, and someone found something that the other one didn't find. It's just like, yo, if you go to your doctor and you just lie to your doctor might not do their due diligence in checking you as how they should. But what happens is she's in a hospital. They're keeping her there. Somebody comes to look at it and says, hey, yo, oh shit, yo, we got the x-ray results back. And yeah, fuck, there's some shit in your leg. We're not too sure what it is. It could be glass. It could like fuck you up later. We might need to do some surgery. This could be really bad. You probably told some shit. You can't, maybe if this doesn't go right, you might not be able to walk again. Fuck that. She probably just tells him the truth. Nigga, that what really happened, what you seen there, they gotta be bullets because I got shot, or a bullet flew next to my leg and broke apart. Some of it went in there. So, oh, okay, all right, cool. Let's see if we can try to get that out. They got two of them out or three of them out. One of them, or like two pieces that's very minuscule, they're like, we can't get to, but at least you're good. She leaves the hospital like 3 days later, 2 days later. She get out of there. Then she sees Tori, who's now fucking defending herself and defending himself, and people looking at her like she was in the cahoots with them, and she just came out and said, fuck that, I'm a victim. From what I heard, Meg was she was at being pressured to by, she had a lot of brand deals, and these brand deals, initially when the story was reported, it made it seem like Meg was part of some criminal activity with Tori. So she needed to get to the victim side because she got brand endorsements and all other shit. She said, fuck that. Nigga, I'm the victim. She's like, she declared that. I'm the victim. Whoa. Stop with all this reporting. Remember how people were reporting when she just came out? Like, yo, stop with all that reporting. I'm the victim. Matter of fact, y'all believe I'm the victim? Tori shot me. That's how it goes. Yo, salute to everybody on Twitch for all the resubscriptions. Ravka, Ooh Wavy, I see you. Nunez Boy, I see you. David P, the investor. Somebody say, yo, Fanis is definitely gonna run for governor of Atlanta. Who's governor right now, or governor of Georgia? Is it a black lady or a black person that's a governor? She might be able to do mayor or something like that, right? Somebody said, "Ack, yo, you had 15K on YouTube, did we? Holy shit! We got like humble 12 right now. So good. Thank everybody for tuning in. As more information comes about this, I'll go live the same way and just kind of give y'all all the info that we have on everything. Enzo Kubrick, thank you for all the gifted subs. Salute to you. And these are from way back. All right. What else did I wanted to touch on? There's a few other things I wanted to touch on.
This whole Meg Thee Stallion shit is crazy.
If they have footage of Tory even pulling the trigger, niggas don't care no more. So it's over.
I believe you got to remember the GSR report, which kind of showed gunpowder residue and all that type of shit. I think they didn't find it on Tory, or it's on the best friend. What does that mean? When you fire a gun, there's gonna be gunpowder like in and around the area, and especially that as the bullet goes out the fucking thing, and the cartridge gets ignited. There's gonna be gunpowder and kind of like some mist that kind of like gets released. If you ever go to a range, that's why after you finish shooting guns, you got to wash your hand with like this like soap that usually it takes lead and other like metallic substance that might be powdery. It cleans you that way. You can't just use Dove soap, right? The GSR report on best friend of Meg actually shows that she had residue. So how could she have residue? She had to be very close to that gun being fired. Now, did she have it in her hand? We don't know. But if you have the residue on you, you were probably behind or to the side of that gun being fired, right? Now, if in my head I'm thinking about it, they've been beefing, her and Meg was just fighting. Who knows? Maybe Meg gave her the beats. Like, Meg's like 6'9". Like, come on now. Meg's like 6'10", like Diesel. Meg might have been beating her best friend's ass like a motherfucker, choke slamming her, DDT, and you know what I mean, doing all type of shit to her. This chick is emotional now. Meg just whipped her ass and fucked her nigga. Like, she might just reach for the gun. I don't know what the fuck happened, bro. I'm just trying to tell you the truth, dog. Like, I don't know what the fuck that happened. I mean, it's like, yo, Meg just gave this bitch an RKO, man. Like, she emotional. She fucking reaches for the gun. Somebody goes to grab her hand, like, yo, chill, yo, what the fuck is you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Gun goes off. You feel me? I don't know. Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Oh, that's a Kendrick Lamar album cover.
Well, listen, man, that's it. That's all I'm gonna play today when it comes to this, man. We about to get ready to get out of here, man. So I want everybody to hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, and we out, man. I want y'all to hit that like button on your way out, man. We out. Peace.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah.